Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Five Star Revolution podcast, the one and only official Five Star Revolution podcast. This is another great episode right here on YouTube and soon to be on Facebook. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Five Star Revolution Podcast, and follow us on Facebook for your chance to win a $200 Visa gift card. Today, we have a very intriguing special guest. His name is Wild Eyed Headbanger Mad Maxx Morrison. How you doing tonight, sir?
Dude, what's going on, man? It's about time because I couldn't figure out how to get in this Skype room because I'm a friggin' dummy. So I thought I had it, but I thought you were on Zoom, man. That was totally my fault.
You're not even looking into the camera.
That was
There
totally
you
my fault.
go.
Dude, I look wherever I want to, man. That's what the wild eyes are all about, man. They just kind of find where they fixate and just kind of they stick there, man.
Well, I want to thank you for joining me here tonight on the Five Star Revolution podcast. I've seen some of your work and I've seen some of your pictures, and you're a crazy dude, bro.
I appreciate it, brother, man. Thanks for checking me out.
So, how'd you get into the world of professional wrestling? How'd you start off?
Man, as far as me starting off, it had to have been when I was like a wee bitty headbanger. So I was a little bit kid, man. I used to do like I used to do all the blue collar come up stuff. I used to be in the Boy Scouts. I used to go camping, all this other kind of stuff. And I remember the first time I ever saw pro wrestling was actually at a Boy Scout camp leader's house. They had it on TV. We were there for a meeting, and I saw the Legion of Doom take somebody out, and I was like, "Yo, these guys are cool as shit." So from that point on, I was kind of hooked, and then I got stupid into comic books, and then I kind of figured out that wrestling and comic books went hand in hand. I was like, "Yo, these are like real life superheroes," so I like really got into it. And then probably about high school, I think it was like middle school, I started wrestling on the team at my school and in high school, and I did that only because I thought that's how you got in WWF. So it's like, oh, I gotta go be a wrestler in school if I gotta go do this. All right, cool, I'll go do that. And I was lousy. I was the shits, man. I got one pin, but the only thing is nobody could really pin me. I always won my matches by points, which that is a feather in my cap, dude. Truly.
So, how did you start training into the? How did you start training in professional wrestling? Where was your first training school?
Okay, so originally I'm from Virginia Beach, Virginia. It's pretty much like the tail end of Virginia and Tidewater. We had a school out there. It was called Southside Professional Wrestling. They were around for a bunch of years. It was the Dustman Mark Anthony and Marty Reed, who were the teachers of that school. And I actually showed up at a flea market for somebody I knew for a Comic Con that was opening up. And I went out there to check it out, and then I met the owner from SPW, and I met another guy, and he said, "Hey, you ever thought about actually doing it?" I was like, "Yeah, like every day of my life." So once I had the conversation, I was like, "Yo, I can actually go do this? Fuck yes, let's go." And I tried it out for a little while. And it stuck. I mean, I got hurt. I got hurt pretty early on, but then once I healed up and it got like right back to it, I was like, dude, this is totally for me. So I've been sticking with it since about 2014, 2015. And what's really funny too is I had just got my college degree in like engineering, like
Nice,
computer science, and then 3 months later I found myself in wrestling school.
nice. So, do you remember your first match? If so, what do you remember from that match, and what did you learn from it?
Okay, so I have two first matches, and here's why I'll say that. So I had my first match when I was not a professional in public. So it was in Hampton, Virginia. It was the Hampton Rose Tattoo Festival, and I was up against Urban Legend. So I came out, mind you, I've been living in Tidewater my entire life. I've already had like an entertainment career before I got into wrestling because I've been playing in music for like, I don't know, 12 or 13 years at that point. And I decided to transition over. I was trying to see if this maybe fit me better than playing music because I was like getting really fucking frustrated with it. And so we went as students to go do this show in front of everybody. And it was me and Irvin. And we've been training together for a little while at this point. And we just went in there. We planned our match, had the thing, went out there. He tried to hop off the rope. I caught him in a flatliner. Bam, 1, 2, 3. Mad Max had his first match and his first win of his whole fucking career. So I was
Nice.
like, hell yeah, man. And I came out to Pantera. I had an old band T-shirt on. I felt like shit.
So, as what made you want to become a pro wrestler? Like, is it because of the Road Warriors, as you said, or you thought, hey, I can do this?
So kind of, sort of. So I've always gravitated to like the wrestlers that look like they belonged in comic books or in like just action movies and shit. Because I'm a big horror movie guy too, and I take like a lot of the whole mindset thing. Like Jake the Snake Roberts was always one of my favorites, just because of the way he thought, and he thought in terms of like a horror movie, where it's like you don't have to get loud for people to pay attention to you, things like that. So when I realized there was so much thinking and so much different stuff in the beginning, I was like, dude, I could slam people and like just throw shit around. This is awesome. So I was gravitated to be like, yep, I can totally do this. And then once I got a little older, because I was never always in shape. I was actually pretty freaking lazy for a long freaking time. I was gross. And then once I got into wrestling, I got into fitness and took that on. So that's like, well, that's kind of a no-brainer. And yeah, I don't know. I guess just kind of my mid-20s, I realized that, yeah, I could probably actually do this.
So, for those listeners who don't know the character Mad Max Morrison, can you explain to our listeners what you're about?
I could tell you exactly what Mad Max Morrison is about. So the Wild Eyed Headbanger was a drummer for many years in a lot of really badass bands all throughout the East Coast. But the problem was he was a bit too much for everybody. Like people could not wrangle him in because he was party, 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 party. I'm going to come in and fuck shit up. And not everybody really could hang with that. Actually, a lot of people got sick and tired of it, to be truthfully honest with you. Yeah, a lot of people got sick and tired of it. So they were like, Max, we don't want to fucking play with you no more. And Max got really upset and was like, yo, y'all are a bunch of bitches. This is bullshit. So he decided to stray off and go find like his true calling. He tried out pro wrestling and was like, yo, I think this is more for me. And found out, yo, this is way more for me. And that's when he decided to embrace that shit, and that became the entity of his being.
So, you mentioned that you were a part of bands. Can you talk a little bit about your music career?
Yeah, I could talk a bit about it. So when I first started playing, I did a bunch of bands in high school. I did marching band. I had a couple pals. So we would play music. But once I started playing out, I was part of the Tidewater metal local scene that we had going on. And I started playing like a bunch of local dive bars and whatnot. I started playing. It wasn't until I played with this band called Unhinged, which I want to go ahead and give a shout to my pal Mike Martin. He passed away today, like 4 years ago, and I miss him like every day. So we played all up and down like the East Coast. From we played up from like Rhode Island down to like Georgia, and did that for about 2, 3 years before I found another band to go play with, and it was so much fun. And then on top of that, I spent probably about 5 or 6 years playing in original hard rock and metal bands, and then I spent about 8 to 10 years playing cover bands, and I did about 2 or 3 on and off in a anime cover band or an anime adventure rock band, playing at anime festivals across the country, doing tours.
What gives you more adrenaline, wrestling or music?
Uh, that's a hard one, dude. So here's why I'll say that's a hard one because I'm one of them ADHD kids from way back, and the stimulation is kind of equal but very different. So I love going out there and playing on my drums and just beating the shit out of stuff and watching people be happy. But I'm also like way happy going out there and beating the shit out of somebody and seeing a smile on somebody's face. So it's almost very equivalent. It's almost like I'm playing human drums when I'm pro wrestling, because I get that feeling because I'm beating the shit out of somebody like I would of my own drum kit.
And what can we expect out of Mad Max Morrison in the next 3 years?
Next 3 years, I just expect you to keep following me and watching the stuff that I put out, because honestly, Mad Max is, you never know, because there is no end game. I've So aside from wrestling, I'm also in movies and I've been playing music forever. I do all kinds of things. So there's really no telling where Mad Max can go. He's he marches at the beat of his own drum, man.
If there's one thing that you learned in pro wrestling that you carry on to your personal life, what would that be?
It would be shut the fuck up and just listen. Like seriously, and the reason I say that is because we as a society a lot of times just kind of prepare a situation in our minds to just react and just say what we feel that is going to like solve a conflict. When the conflict comes, then you just spout off what you've already prepared and you're not really solving anything. I think that just being able to open my mind up, not just shut anything off, be receptive, and just try to learn as much as you can. Seriously, whatever it takes, learn as much as you can, however you can, with whatever you can. And it's going to make literally everything better, because I became a better salesperson after I got into wrestling. I actually figured out who I was through wrestling, and I was able to differentiate the man that plays the persona to the character in persona. I've got like 4 or 5 different layers to this guy you're talking to right now, which is kind of rad because at least 3 of them is what you're asking me about.
So, would you say professional wrestling has changed your life?
Yeah, absolutely. So the cool shit that came out of pro wrestling for me is that I was able to go have a bunch of cool adventures and wrestle legends that I watched on TV growing up, and make friendships with so many people I respect in the business. While at the same time, I met my wife through professional wrestling, and now we have like these 2 amazing twin babies that are just adorable, and I feel they're gonna like kind of follow in our footsteps. And if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have an acting career, and I sure as fuck wouldn't be like talking to you and a lot of other people that I do right now. So I say wrestling had a huge influence on my life. It actually kind of shaped me as a human being and helped me figure out who I was, compared to who I really want to get out there and portray as a product.
So, you mentioned that you were in movies and you're an actor. What movies have you been in, and are there any other movies that you're going to be on in the future?
So I started off doing music videos. I was probably one of the main stars of Iron Reagan's Patronizer, which I can send you a link for that. And there is my first film I did was for Fuzzy Monkey Productions, Brad Twigg. It was called Death Board, which was a Ouija board sex supernatural film, and it was a lot of fun. And I was a character that was very involved in the film. And if you want, get in touch with me and I'll get you a copy,
I would love to see it.
because that's a fun one. So this coming October, we're working on trying to get released this other one through Fuzzy Monkey and Brad Twigg. It's called Shriek Show, and it's kind of like Creep Show, where we tell the story of multiple stories throughout the thing. And we've got Beverly Randolph, we've got Felissa Rose, we've got Tuesday Night. We got like 3 of the big screen queens of the 80s in this thing. So, I mean, there's names on here. There's likely going to be boobs. There's going to be lots of screaming. And then you got yours truly as a killer clown doing killer clown things, which is really fucking cool.
I would love to see that movie, man. That sounds fucking awesome.
Hell
So,
yeah.
you mentioned that you're an actor. You're a wrestler. You're a musician. I'm sure you have a shoot job. How do you balance life, man?
I really don't know. I wish, dude, I ask myself that all the time. I have no idea. I just kind of medicate and it I'm able to think a little clearer, and then it helps me deal with a lot of like everything that comes my way. And I try to deal with it logically. I mean, is that a good enough answer for that? Because I really don't know.
That's good enough for me. That's good enough for me. So,
Because I have no idea how I do all this shit, man. It's hard. especially since becoming a twin dad. That's like super hard.
man, I respect you, man, 100%. I have no kids, but I can imagine.
I love my kids so much, and they're so cute and like awesome. I really feel like they're gonna be like something special in this world, and it's not because they're mine, but I really do just like get that vibe. I don't know. I feel like I got a sixth sense for that kind of stuff. But
Awesome. I wish you the best with them, man, for real.
thanks, dude. That's gonna be fun. But yeah, dude, I don't know how the fuck I balance all this stuff. It's just something I've always kind of known how to do, and I just deal with it.
So, what would you say is your style of wrestling nowadays?
I'm very Smash Mouth, man. Like I watch a lot of guys like Cactus Jack. I watch Brody. I watch Hanson. I watch Terry Gordy, and I watch Dr. Death Steve Williams. I watch a bunch of them Smash Mouth ex football players that just like to beat shit out of people, and that stuff really resonates with me. On top of the theatrics and just the character over exaggerations of like I don't know, there was like Roddy Piper and DDP and Sting and Road Warriors, all them guys. Like there's some kind of theatrical pageantry that goes with just like raw brutality. That's where I kind of resonate with the most.
Awesome. That sounds awesome, man. So, what would you say are the highlights of your career so far?
So some of the coolest highlights I have, I mean, I feel like this is like a 2-3 part question, so I'm going to try to answer as such. Some of the highlights of my career, uh, in category A is all the kids I've met that have like watched my show for the first time and come up to me and be like, "You're my favorite wrestler." That is like a career highlight. And then like another career highlight is like all the people that come talk to me, whether I've like been a babyface or a heel, and be like, "Yo, your shit's awesome. I appreciate you." That's a fucking career highlight for me. If you kind of feel where I'm going, dude, I love making like a good impression on like society. Like I really love entertaining people. But like as far as like accomplishments and stuff, so me holding I work for a company in Altoona, Pennsylvania, Eclipse Wrestling. And I've been there for about 3.5 years now. And I was there for probably about a year and a half, and then I won their Eclipse uh, legacy title, and
Nice.
I won it from Mambo Italiano, who's all over NXT now. Like he does extra work over there. Brothers moving. All the respect in the world for Mambo Italiano. So, and I held that belt for 477 days
Nice.
before I cashed it in for the world for the Eclipse Heavyweight Championship, which was my first like company champion like heavyweight championship. And the fact that I've been able to like help contribute to that company to make it better, to help it grow and see it turn into something bigger and better, I see that as a huge accomplishment because Eclipse is well on the rise. And then the other accomplishment I have is the fact that I got to wrestle with people like Gangrel. I got to wrestle against Gangrel and Kevin Thorne, who I love and adore, the both of them. Gangrel because I've been watching him since I was like 16, and then Kevin Thorne because I don't know, me and Big Kev. So we were working at VCW in Norfolk, and Big Kev, I had to go scoop him up that day as his wrangler, and we had a good time because he taught me the inner hacks to bomb ass food at Bojangles that day.
So, Would you mind telling us one or two funny road stories that you might have?
Ah, man, I got tons of funny road stories, but the problem is I don't know what I can and can't tell on in public because of kayfabe, man. I still kind of believe in that. So, okay. You have 3 beers. Holy fuck. So my translator just told me I have 3 beers here. I only see one, so it must mean I drank 2. So this is, hey, Mad Math Morrison over here trying to put together the pieces of the puzzle so we don't get lost.
There you go, man. Cheers.
So, what the fuck were we talking about? I'm sorry, I forgot what we were talking about.
One or two funny road stories that you might have.
Music or like? Okay, dude. So I got one really funny story. So actually, I got a couple funny stories. Sure. Okay. So I'm gonna give you a couple funny stories. I'm gonna give you this one. This was a fantastic. So I'm totally gonna put my homeboy out because this is a shoot interview, right?
Right.
Oh, dude, we're just letting it fly, right? Okay. So cool. Then you're totally getting this story. So check this out. It was 2017. I was in a tag team with a cat named Relentless Rock Richards. We were Noise Pollution. We were trained by Damian Wayne, the Mid-Atlantic badass from fucking Newport News. He lives up in Tennessee now. He's a longtime journeyman. So he's AIWF champ at the time. And he grabs us and says, "Hey, boys, get on the road with me. We got a little tour we're going. We're doing a loop." Cool, great. Well, we got Irvin Legend. He's a cat from back in Tidewater. And he was training with us. He trained in SPW, trained with us. He wrestles over at VCW in Norfolk. Well, he got in the car, and brother said, "This is like a 4-tier story because there's so much fucked up shit." It gets all befuddled. So we're rolling down the road. We end up working the first shot in Chattanooga. And then once we get out, because before we got to the show, we found a bar. It was like, all right, we're going there afterwards. And we went and did the show, found the bar, and ended up having a good time. So here's Irvin, who does not drink and does not really socialize all that much, but tells a hell of a story. Brother's a hell of a storyteller, but man, he don't drink or do nothing. So we're all sitting here partying, wrestling up and whatnot, and he's there drinking one beer, sings his little Johnny Cash song. That was great. And so we fast forward to the next day. We go over to where was it? We ended up going to another place in New York. Did a spot, stayed at a hotel, went home, or got back on the road. Did a third spot, blah blah blah, left. So on the way back, we goes, "Hey Irv, did you bring anything to contribute?" He goes, "I got a Wawa gift card for $150. This takes care of our gas for the whole fucking trip." And what did Irvin not know? Hey, brother, we're going to the South, man. Wawa ain't a thing down there. So, what'd you bring, man? And that turned to the theme of the whole fucking weekend. Hey, brother, so are you going to like chip in on anything or what? So we're constantly like ribbing them the whole weekend. So when we get back, we find out apparently there's an alternate story here, like a Zack Snyder cut of that fucking road trip that Irvin produced that said, "Hey, so I told these honky jabronis, get in the car. We're going to fucking Tennessee, and I'm going to go win my match so that we can go to this bar." And I picked up like 4 hoes and tossed 3 of them at my pals. And then we went to the next town in Georgia, and I won this battle royal that's going to be on TV that was not either of those things. And then and then he claimed that he grabbed a rat in Albany, Georgia, and kicked all of us. He kicked out the Mid-Atlantic badass. He kicked out the relentless one. He kicked out the mad one out of this hotel room so he could bang a rat. And then we went to the next town in Tennessee, and 3 toothless rats took him home. Which makes no sense because he rode with me out of Tennessee.
What the fuck? That's funny as hell, bro. That's
His
funny.
brother asked for a shoot. I'm giving him a shoot. This is going to get ratings, man. I'm telling you.
I hope so, brother.
Dude, so we get back to Virginia. We get back. I'm sorry, my translator's like totally geeking out. I'm sorry. So we get back to Virginia, and he's like, "Yo, I got no fucking cash." He don't even, dude. Even though he ain't got no cash, he still goes out and he doesn't even offer to pump the gas. It's like, seriously, you ain't contribute shit, and you can't even pump the gas. So of course we leave it at that, and it is whatever. So we get back to Virginia. We've already dropped everybody off, and then once me and him go down the road, he goes, "Hey brother, here's $20 for your troubles." I goes, "How long we've been holding on to that, man?"
Wow, man, that sounds like a wild time, brother.
Oh man, brother's funny. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Wow.
You asked for a shoot, bro. I gave you one.
That was great. That was great. Thank you so much for that story, man. That was great. So, what's your favorite thing to do? Face or heel, and why?
I think they're both fun. I think they're both fun because one, I like to go out there and I can put a smile on people's face, and that actually makes me like really excited to do that. Like, I'm one of those guys. I like fighting from the bottom, so you could beat the shit out of me, and I'm gonna like come up, work my way to victory. I love that shit. But as far as being a heel, I like going in there and just being dirty. Like whatever comes to me, just fucking, just let them have it, and that gets fun. That gets a lot of fun. Like what really intrigues me is like the psychology of both and the benefit of each.
I think being a heel is more fun because.
It can be. It can be. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, man.
Sorry, man. No problem. This is your time, your show.
You goddamn right, it's my show.
So, my next 2 more questions for you before I let you go, Mr. Morrison, is how do you deal with backstage politics?
I don't.
That's it?
I don't.
That's it? No, like it.
It's that easy, dude. Like seriously, you fucking don't. Like there's so many people that like seriously, there's so many people that don't have like stimulating drama in their life, so they come in there and like start bullshit and wrestle. It's like seriously, fuck, dude. If I want to, I can watch it on TV. Why the hell do I need to be a part of this? If I hear something that sounds stupid, I'll go and be like, "That's fucking stupid. Why y'all doing it that way?" And then the conversation happens. But other than that, dude, unless it directly affects me, I don't give a shit.
Very good answer, man. Very good answer. So, last question for you, sir, is what are you looking to get out of pro wrestling and what's your main goal?
Well, it started off that I just wanted to do this because I thought it was awesome. Now I do it because I think it's awesome and I'm gotten pretty good at it. But I feel really good because I know that I'm making a change in people's lives because I'm entertaining them. And people like really getting down with what I'm selling. So as far as like an end game, I really don't have one. Entertaining's in my blood, and this is just something I feel like I need to do to like help save the world.
Never thought of that way, man. That's a great mindset right there.
Yeah, dude. Because like seriously, when the kids come talk to me after the show, and they're like, the kids would be like, "I hated you, man." Cool. And I'll buy into it, and then we have a good time, and they had a good time. They walk away, and be like, "Dude, I was so mad at that guy, but I really like him." It's like good. That's what I want to send you home with. I want to give everybody a good experience that they paid their hard-earned money to come out and be like, "Yeah, I got what I want." Like when I saw Mad Max, I got what I wanted. Like that is my goal in wrestling. Is just every match when I go out there, I just want the people to be like, I got what I wanted with that guy.
So basically, you just want to make an impact in people's lives.
That's it, man.
All
That's
right.
that's all I want to do. I just want to have fun doing it and tell cool stories.
So, would you like to plug any of your shows, any of your music, or social media?
Absolutely. So you said this is gonna air fairly soon, so you can find me on social media, Mad Maxx Morrison, 2 D's, 2 X's, 2 R's, on almost every platform. You can find me on Twitter and TikTok for Wild Eyed Headbanger. And you can also find me at madmaxmorrison.com. 2 D's, 2 X's, 2 R's. But here's the thing, guys. I would love for you to hit me up and tell me what you want to see because I really enjoy the feedback. So you can tell me I suck and tell me I'm doing good, and I will entertain the pants off your grandmother.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mad Max Morrison, for your time here tonight on the Five Star Revolution podcast. It was a true pleasure. We wish you the best of luck in your career. And for you listeners, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Five Star Revolution Podcast. Go over to Facebook right now, share on like our Facebook page, Five Star Revolution Podcast. Mad Max Morrison, you have a great night, sir.
Thanks, dude.